Hello, sweet friend. Welcome. I'm so happy to see you here. Today I wanted to share a few thoughts that came to me this morning during my quiet reading time. I usually take some time in the morning to read something spiritual and to just meditate. I usually spend some time meditating in the morning if I'm able to, and I had so many thoughts coming to me. I hadn't planned on filming a video today, but I was inspired to do so because I just had so many thoughts coming to me. I ended up making some notes that I wanted to share with you guys. I have a cup of peppermint tea. I hope you have something lovely to drink. We're going to talk some more about mindfulness. So some thoughts were coming to me recently in today's world, and so much of society and culture, so much of culture today, especially on the internet, preaches to us this message of constantly having our attention divided, constantly scrolling through a feed, or even if we're not scrolling through a feed, we're being served advertisements through television, through the internet, through websites, through email, you name it. There's some data out there that I remember seeing. It was either in a book or an article I was reading that we are exposed to so many thousands of ads every single day. And that's staggering. When you think about, you don't have to rewind time that far to find a place that was completely non-existent. So what is this doing to us on an emotional level? What is this doing to us on a psychological level? There are scientists out there studying this. There are researchers and psychologists studying this. You can look this up online and find ample research and plenty of reading material on the topic of, is this age of the internet contributing to many who are suffering with anxiety, depression? Is this contributing to it? And in so many cases, the answer is yes. Now, I'm not an expert, but I have read so many interesting studies where every answer seems to point to the fact that we are enlightened, intelligent, beautiful beings who were not put here on this planet to simply be absorbed inside of this virtual world, inside of this matrix of constantly needing something else in order to be a valid human being. And that message is served to us everywhere we look. They want you to be distracted. That is the theme of today's discussion. And who is they? They are the corporations, the people running the internet. It's funny because social media websites are free per se. You can join many social media websites without ever having to exchange money. And why is that? Many of us don't stop and pull back to think, why is it that we can join these online communities, these social media platforms for nothing, seemingly? It's because advertisements are being served on these platforms. Corporations are paying to have advertisements put in front of you, and the revenue that is generated from these advertisements is what these multi-billion-dollar companies are thriving off of. Now, I want to point out there's nothing wrong with advertisements per se. As a small business owner, do I advertise my books? Yes. As an author, I have books. I've paid to have advertisements for my books put out there so that people can find my books and maybe even enjoy reading my series. Absolutely. I know many beautiful small business owners and creators who have used platforms to buy an advertisement that can be served to hopefully their potential audience, someone who might like to find what they've created. So I'm not at all speaking about small businesses here, but I am talking about some of these large billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar corporations that are out there tailoring the internet and kind of controlling what goes before you and what's capturing your attention, and better yet, things that are going to keep you coming back to these platforms for more and more and more. It's really a system of influence, and we need to see it that way. We need to see it for what it is, and it's not an evil thing and it's not a good thing. It's neither one. It is a neutral thing that we must simply become aware of. And I think if we can become aware of it, it will help us to use these online resources in mindful and meaningful ways. So I'm not in any way saying the internet is evil, social media is evil, just get away from it. I think if we can approach this topic mindfully, approach this resource mindfully, that is what it is. That's what the internet is. It is simply another resource. So let's treat it as such. Let's approach this topic as such. Let's look at this as a resource. How can we use this in a way that benefits us, mind, body, and spirit, and also benefits others, mind, body, and spirit? Now, when we get distracted online, and many of you can relate to this, I know I can. I've been distracted online before, and that's because these platforms literally make money off of your distraction. These massive online platforms are businesses who have a vested interest in you being distracted. They want you to be distracted. Because if you're in a constant state of wanting something else, not only are you spending money and you're spending more time following influencers on these platforms to try to tailor your own life to look more like theirs, but you're helping to keep the whole system alive. You're helping to keep these platforms alive. Now, we can mindfully use these platforms, but we have to be awakened to the fact that they are not rigged in favor of our mental health, of our emotional health. They are, in fact, rigged against it. These platforms are predisposed to make us want to use them more and more and more, and look at influencers for guidance, for our path, really, to influence our decision, our life decisions, important decisions even. That's hence the term influencer. What is it they are influencing? They are influencing our lives. And again, is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's neither one. It's neutral. Because some things can be a bad influence, other things can be a good influence. It's about us awakening to, okay, what is it I need? And then allowing your spirit to guide you towards, okay, that's good, that leads me further in my purpose, that resonates, or that takes me further away from who I truly am. That's not me. I don't need something else to validate myself as a human being. So we have to be guided. And we can use these platforms in incredible ways to touch people's lives. Right now, I am on a video on YouTube, which is a social media platform. So I'm not trying to say don't use these at all, but we have to be careful. We really do. We have to be very careful and use these platforms as resources and not something that sucks us down this rabbit hole, this never-ending rabbit hole of I need to be validated constantly by my peers and by people who look at me online in order to be a valid human. And I need more things. I need more money. I need more attention. I need more influence. We don't need those things. It's actually an illusion that's being projected onto us by society, by culture. They want you to be distracted. And when you are distracted, you are not free. Because the opposite of freedom actually is distraction and confusion. When we are distracted and when we are confused, we cannot make decisions from a place of clarity. We cannot live our lives with a sense of bliss and a sense of freedom because we don't have mental clarity, because we're not here in the present. Mindful, our mind is full of this moment. We know this as children. When we're born into the world, we have this inherent sense of the here and now, and there's nothing beyond that. You can totally see that in little kids, watching them play, and that chasing the butterfly or picking the flowers or making mud pies is the whole reality. That is, the entire fabric of reality is culminated in that one moment. There is nothing else. And that's why you can watch kids play until after sunset. They don't even notice time going by and they have to be called in. That's because they're so grounded in that here and now present moment that nothing else exists. That's their whole reality, is right now. So we're actually born with this incredible awareness that it's almost like an extra dimension that we are tapped into, so to speak. We are so connected with this is reality right here. And then as we grow older, we learn to have foresight. We learn to be able to delegate and have a sense of time management and schedule and have calendars and predict future events, worry about things, be cautious, be guarded. Now, some of these things can work for us. It's good to sometimes think ahead. It's good to plan ahead. It's good to be cautious sometimes, right? So that we can keep ourselves safe, healthy. We can learn how to plan things. We can learn how to schedule our lives and organize. All those things are good. But they have their negatives, don't they? When we are constantly living in an illusion of a future that we paint in our minds, a worry, something that we dread. What if this happens? What if that happens? And we're actually living out of these future dark projections that we've created, and they actually can negatively impact our lives. They can give us feelings of depression. They can give us feelings of anxiety. They can not serve us. They can be actually doing us a disservice because we are no longer in the present moment. We've lifted off of the present moment, and now we're drifting through these different projections of reality that we've created in our own minds, right? So we're not born like this. We're born mindful. We are not born distracted and then we grow up and learn how to become mindful, awakened beings. We are born wide awake and full of the present moment, completely mindful of the here and now. And as we grow, we become distracted. Our attention begins to get divided. We lose so often a sense of awe and wonder at the present moment, at here and now. We often tell our kids, to focus and to set aside those more creative things, right? And I was blessed, thankfully, to have two amazing parents who were artists who raised me to lean into my creativity. I was homeschooled, and that was the priority, was to embrace the creativity and to learn what was going on within me, to find that light and allow it to guide me. And it was the most beautiful gift my parents could ever give me. But we need to see this even as adults, that we can return to that experience, that childlike experience of being fully in the present moment, because we need this. Talk about valuable tools. It's the most valuable tool, the most faithful companion we could have by our sides, is a reminder to be mindful. Because when we are mindful, when we are fully present, we are fully focused. Our mind is clear. It is free of distractions. The opposite is to be completely divided. Our attention is divided. Our focus is divided. And from that place, feelings of anxiety arise, not feelings of clarity. The age of the internet has ushered in more distraction than ever before. And like any resource, we need to treat it with respect. We need to pull back. We need to unplug. We need to realize the level that we have gone to as a society with being constantly attached to desire for material possessions and to desire for things and to desire to be like someone else and constantly be distracted with everything going on. It has left us feeling, in my opinion, more anxious than ever and more troubled in so many ways than ever before because we're not really present. We're not really present. Within each of us, there is this place, this very grounded, real place of stillness and contentment because we already have within us everything we need. Our full potential, limitless, completely limitless. We don't have to pay our valuable attention. Pay to give someone something. Currency, the exchange of currency, paying attention, our attention. It's a limited resource. Our attention is not unlimited. We can only pay attention to so many things. Studies show us that multitasking is crap. No one multitasks that well. This is why we're not supposed to be on phones when we're driving cars, okay? Because we can't divide our attention. It's dangerous. It causes us to lose our focus. We can't give our full focus to multiple things. It gets divided focus, distilled versions of our focus. And when we're not focused, we can't make good decisions about our lives, our well-being, our health, our spirituality. A mind constantly confused and muddled and distracted cannot be one of clarity, of peace. When you think of a peaceful place, you might think of like a still pond. And the pond cannot be still and glassy when 1,000 rocks are being thrown in and a bunch of fish are jumping and boats are zooming through the water, right? That's what our minds are like when we are plugged into this matrix of the internet. A place, a landscape chiefly funded by multi-billion-dollar companies that want our money and want our attention and want to keep us coming back for more. The internet can be a wonderful place to connect with other beautiful souls who are seeking and on respective paths running alongside ours. And it can be wonderful to meet people like I've met all of you. So many of you down in the comments and in emails. You've been kind enough to reach out to me and say hello. But let's be careful about how we're using this because we don't want to become confused. We don't want to leave that island within ourselves that we can come back to with mindfulness. This safe haven within ourselves, it takes us away from that to all these external things that once we have those, there will be another external thing. And then when we have that, there will be another external thing and we will never be happy. There is no happiness at the end of this never-ending tunnel. It's only the next thing and the next benchmark and the next benchmark because others are profiting from keeping us that way. But the good news is we can awaken. We can step back from this digital age and ask ourselves, why am I really here? What can I do today, right now, to find peace, to help others find peace, to show someone I love them, to make this world a more healed place, a more beautiful, loving place? And some of the ways that I find this every single day, this grounded feeling, this mindfulness, is by taking time to have quiet time in the morning, spiritual time, whatever that means to you. Maybe it's reading a spiritual book, something that speaks to your soul. Maybe it's taking time to paint or draw or dance or sing or go on a nature walk. Meditation is something that has changed my life in so many ways for the better. Meditation is a wonderful thing to do to help you feel grounded, to help you find that peace, to open up something. It doesn't have to be all planned out. You can just sit down and breathe, smile, enjoy this moment, because here it is, and this is it. Become the child wrapped up in the butterfly. All there is the butterfly. And this moment can be that. Every moment can be that. Spending time in nature, gardening, growing plants. Try to start a garden if you can. If you can't, if you live in a city or something, pot some plants in your house. Grow something. Get your hands in the earth. Touch the leaves of a plant. Feel the difference of what it feels like to have plants around you. Practice yoga. Breathe. Yoga is so diverse and encompassing of anyone. It doesn't matter who you are, you can probably practice some form of yoga because it can be whatever you need it to be. The yoga practice is sacred and specific to you. It's something that has helped me in so many ways to find strength within myself, connection to my breath and this moment, leaving everything else at the door. Practicing yoga nidra. Practicing martial arts. Spending time in nature. All these things are ways that we can unplug. Those are some practical ways. I like to throw out some practical ways because even if they don't, even if the ones that I specifically listed don't speak to you, you get the idea. Find different things. It doesn't have to be one ultimate goal. Don't put this off. More than ever, we need to awaken to the beauty within, and that we don't have to rely upon material things and attachments and this constant incubation of desire for more and more and more stuff to make us happy. What's going to truly make us happy is finding the true peace and truth within us that will allow us to express love and peace to others. Those who are suffering, those who are needing it most now more than ever. So stay connected, stay awakening, stay on your unique and beautiful path, my friend. These are some of my morning thoughts. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you grabbed yourself a cup of tea. If you enjoyed this video, it always means a lot when you click subscribe and the little thumbs up button if you liked it and all that, and you can share it with someone who might need this message, who you think this message could reach in a positive way. That'd be cool too. I love you, my friend. I wish you so much joy in your journey. I will see you in the next video. Namaste.